Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is okay. I just wanted to come on here and share something with you. I've said before many times, my life is so spiritual. Sometimes it's really hard to navigate because God is always breaking the veil and showing me things that are supernatural, are supernaturally driven. As you know, those of you who have been following me, and especially recently, that our dog that we had for 12 years passed away 1 week ago today. And we're still grieving. We're still trying to get over things. But strange things happen in my life. They always did, and they are continuing to do so. After this happened, my husband and I said that we were going to wait. You know, we weren't going to jump into anything right away as far as, you know, replacing the dog and going to adopt another dog or another pet. As you know, all my cats are gone except for the stray that I feed, Beaky, and she lives on my deck now. I bought her a house, a heated house, and I feed her twice a day. And you know, she used, you couldn't touch her in the beginning 2-3 years ago, but now, you know, I'm the only one. She'll come on my lap. She'll, you know, I can give her some love and affection, and she all her needs are being met, actually. So, but she's not inside the house permanently. She'll come in to eat, and then she go back out again. But I make sure that when she's out, she's protected from the bad weather and everything, and she gets fed. And my other dog that we just put down, Toby, because he was sick, we had him for 12 years, and I realized that I never left him with anybody for 12 years. I wouldn't leave him with anybody, and that means we didn't take a vacation in 12 years because I wouldn't leave him with anybody, you know. I didn't want him to feel abandoned. I didn't want him to have separation anxiety. I didn't want him to be scared, you know. And I'm sorry. Oh, it's so emotional, but yeah. I realized that after he's gone. We didn't realize it, that we weren't doing things because we put the animal first, the care and the love and the concern for the animal. So anyway, we agreed we weren't going to do anything. So let's see, he passed on Monday, a week ago Monday, and 2 days later, he passed on the 11th, so on the 13th, my husband and I, we took a drive, and we were parked by the beach, and we were just sitting there having our tea, and all of a sudden, I don't know, out of the blue, I get an impulse. I get an impulse to search for animal shelters in the town that I live. Now, we're both sitting in the car having our tea and coffee, and so I'm searching. He doesn't know what I'm doing on my phone, and I found one in the town. And I said to him, wow, I said, did you know that there's an animal shelter like right nearby, blah blah blah, this and that? And I said it's not too far. I said, do you mind if we go take a ride? I'm just curious, I said. So he says, okay. So we take a ride, and we pull up in front of the place, and he says to me, go ahead, you go in. He said, you know, you were the one that was curious, basically. So he says, yeah, you go in. So I go in, and I said to the lady, I said, she says, what are you interested in? I says, I just wanted to see what kind of dogs, you have any dogs. And they really didn't have very many, but when I walked in to the kennel area, the very first cubicle, there was a little dog in there. And when I took a look at the dog, my jaw dropped. I sucked in my breath. I could not believe what I was looking at, people. I could not believe it. I'm going to show you what I saw. This was a 1-year-old dog. He's got a donut around his neck because they just neutered him. But this is my dog's face and spirit looking at me. Exactly. Exactly. I could not believe. I was completely taken. I didn't know what the hell was happening to me. So I said to the woman, I says, excuse me, do you mind if I go get my husband and bring him in here? Because, and I told her what I was looking at, that we just, you know, we just lost our dog of 12 years. And this dog is 1 year old and he's small, and my dog was like 55 pounds. And I says, and this dog is the spitting image, not only physical appearance, but spirit-wise. It's like looking at my dog. I said, I need to bring my husband in here to see if he sees what I'm seeing. So I went out and got him, and I brought him in, and he had the exact same reaction. We were completely taken back. So we got sucked into this whirlwind in there of emotion. Don't forget, we're grieving. It's only the second day that he's gone. And here it is. I get the impulse to go somewhere I had no intention of going. And now I see my dog. Literally looking at the face of my dog who just passed away. So I says, are there any applications on him? And she says, yes, there's 2 ahead of you. So I says, can I fill out an application? My husband, said, okay, go fill out the application, because he was in the whirlwind too now with us. So I filled out the application, and then she took us into the little play area where you can meet the dog. And so she brought the dog in, and the gestures of the dog and the mouth movements and the look, the way the eyes went back and forth. It was like I was in another, I wasn't here. I was out of my, it was a different reality. It felt like it. So the dog was jumping on me, licking my face, then running to my husband and jumping on him and licking his face and all of that. And so then after it was over, we went home, and of course, we were disoriented, because we had, first of all, we had to become oriented to the fact that he was gone, so we were grieving over that. Then we oriented ourselves in agreement that we weren't going to move forward right now while we were grieving on another dog. And now we're in another orientation that we just put an application in for a dog that basically we didn't really decide on. It was just like it happened. So we're both unsettled, and I didn't say anything, he didn't say anything to me, and then I woke up in the middle of the night, and I felt really twisted over the whole thing. And I said to myself, well, that dog looks like Toby and has Toby's spirit, but it's not Toby. It's not my dog. I don't know what this is, but it's not the dog. I know it's not the same dog. It's a completely different dog. It's small. It's 1 year old. But it looks, it just, I was confused, because I never saw anything like this before. And then I started thinking to myself that the last couple of years, my husband had to pick up a lot of the slack for taking care of Toby. Toby was my dog, and I have this shoulder issue. It's very painful. It's like kind of like a rotator cuff thing. And so he was doing a lot of walking the dog, because before we lived where we're living now, we had a big backyard that was fenced in, so he could run around. He wanted to go out 3, 4, 5 times a day. We let him out. Wasn't a problem, but he's got to be walked. So there's more stress on the both of us. So, you know, he took a lot of those duties. And I said to myself, well, if I get another dog, I might not be able to do, you know, have the push, you know, to take care in the way that I would want to take care. And then you know, you think to yourself, you don't have, you know, everybody in the family's gone. If something happens to either one of us, what's going to happen to the dog? We're going to be able to take care of the dog. Something happens to the both of us, who's going to get the dog? The dog is a 10-15 year commitment. So all those things started to seep in after all this whirlwind that we got pulled into. And I talked to my husband in the morning, and he agreed with me that we kind of, because of what happened, and we didn't understand what God was trying to say to me is, I have your dog, Judy, or look, he looks, I have your dog, or here's another dog that you can enjoy that is just like your dog. I didn't know what the message was. So, and I said to myself, we're not ready. And why did this happen so fast? We're not ready. So I reneged on there, called up, I rescinded the application, and I still had the dog in my head. So I called yesterday just to ask if the dog was still there, and they told me that the dog was adopted on Saturday. So the dog is you know, has a new home. And that was that. But this was a spiritual event, people. These kinds of things don't normally happen to most people, but they happen to me all the time. See? They happen to me all the time. And this one in particular, I couldn't figure out, because I don't know if because I was crying so bad and God wanted me to give me something that would help me get over it. I still don't know what this was all about and what it was for. But anyway, this is just something that we went through, and I thought I would come on here and share it with you. So I have some other things for you, but for now on this video, I'm just going to end it now. So I'll see you again soon. Thanks for listening.